she has a little one. Oh, now we're being. But I'm just very excited that Bernadette is working so hard and mostly helping a lot of the younger families in Rockaway. It's kind of an isolated part of New York, even though it's so close to the city. So having access to Young Living for a lot of these young families is relieves a lot of the pressure for them as far as healthcare for their families. So I'm very excited to work with Bernadette. She's teaching me a lot. So I'm excited that she got this recognition from Trisha and the upline. So congratulations, Bernadette.
Thank you.
And I've asked, thanks, Allison. I've asked Bernadette to share just a couple of thoughts with us tonight about some of the things that she feels are working really well for her. So Bernadette, if you want to go ahead and share some thoughts with us, we'd really appreciate it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the recognition. I mean, it really all started with Allison, who just introduced me. And like she said, my sister-in-law, I'm so thankful to them, especially after was so many things about the Young Living line that have made me, you know, a better person and a better mom, just things that I have around my daughter. And that's exactly what I do. I don't force the product on anybody. I just tell people what's working for me. If I don't have the answer, I let them know, you know, I haven't personally used that yet, but I can help you get the information. So I think this, you know, this past month, that's what I've really have been driving into people, just, you know, important information and why I think Young Living works. That feel process, really giving them facts about who they are and, you know, how much they care about the people that, you know, work under them and things like that. Honestly, in October, I left a job. I was a guidance counselor for 5 years. I had a very tough situation happen with the student, and I decided to leave the school that I was working at. So that was really tough. And honestly, this company has given me, you know, my motivation back, my drive to work and be a working mom and make time for myself. And I love every day checking in with people, and again, feeling like I'm a working woman, that I could do this, that I make time for myself in the day, and that's the number one thing that I think has changed for me, and what December has done for myself is just making time for it.
That's fantastic, Bernadette. Thank you so much for sharing. And what I hear in what you shared with us just now is about integrity. It's about you coming from a place of integrity and what you tell people about our products, and also sharing the integrity of the company. So that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Did anyone have any questions? Pardon me. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bernadette.
No, I was just thanking you again. I mean, I'm loving seeing where this is all going, and I look forward to working with everybody further.
Well, wonderful. Congratulations. We really appreciate all you do. Did anyone have any questions for Bernadette before we move into some Oola? Okay, cool. So for those of you that have known me for a little while, you know that I am kind of crazy for the Oola guys. Here I am. And I actually went to a special event in Kansas City, and I apologize to Sandy and Robin. I have pictures of us with them, and I just couldn't find them at the last minute there. But, you know, the Oola guys are fun. They give you a chance to take pictures with them at convention, and I've taken advantage of that many times. You also see me putting my Oola dreams on the Oola bus. The one top center was at convention this year, and the one in the bottom center was right here in Spokane. And I put some dreams for some of our team members on the bus there. The bottom right, gosh, they invited people who wanted to be kind of Oola advocates in the world, and they actually sent me a free book to put somewhere for someone to find. So that's a picture of where I put the book. And I tell you, the book was gone the next day by the time I got back there. You can see I put it in my local library. And I don't know if some friendly librarian said, well, this book doesn't belong here, or if someone actually saw my picture and went and helped themselves to it. But I just love their message. And I hope that you will get some benefit out of our presentation tonight. Let me just pop this down so I can stop the share. What I have for you tonight is a short webinar that the Oola guys did for 2018 for setting our goals. It's about 15 minutes long, and I'm going to go ahead and play that for you. I encourage you to grab a pencil and paper, take some notes, and when we come back from listening to that, I'm going to mute everybody while that's playing as well. And when we come back from that, we're going to work together and share some ideas for how to create goals and how to actually implement them and make them work for us. So let me go ahead and get that video started for us. I'm going to mute all of us and get that going. Okay, here we go. All right, so first of all, if you are not familiar with the Oola guys, there is a whole page about them on our Young Living website. If you go into company and then into the media center, partnerships, Oola, you're going to find the Oola guys. There's this fun little video that explains the history of how the Oola guys came to Young Living and the creation of the Infused 7 collection. And by the way, you can certainly have great results using the Infused 7, and also the Balance and Grow blends are a beautiful complement to your work for setting goals. But if you don't have these particular oils on hand right now, pull out your Valor, pull out your highest potential, your into the future. Maybe it's about abundance for you. We'll talk a little bit more about this after the presentation. So let me see if I can get to, no, it's not gonna let me do that. Hold on just one second. Oh, there it is. Go away. Okay, here we go. Now here's our presentation. Okay, enjoy.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the webinar.
Okay, so I'm just pausing it for a second. Can you all give me a hands up if you can hear it okay? It seems very soft here for me.
That's why I unmuted. I can't hear.
Okay, let me see if I can get the volume up a little bit.
Okay.
Come on, Oola guys. Let me stop the share for a second and see if I can get it a little louder. Ah, there we go. This should do it. Okay. So once I get it going again, I'm going to mute myself. But if you can just give me a thumbs up that you can hear it, okay? Here we go.
And so just work with us in this as we're working through this process.
Yeah, that's it. Somebody can join us in Vegas someday, but right now, 2018 is literally days away. We want you to have life. Like, go into it. Don't quit having life happen to you. We are days away, but we want to figure out this, like one thing. And so stay tuned for the whole thing. We're going to bring you to this point because we know the facts. We just finished this event, and in doing this event, it forces us, I love numbers, to not be caught in the hype, but you watch the media of what's going on. The world feels like it's going sideways, but it's not just a feeling. If we look at what Oola is, and those of you knew, Oola is a life that's balanced and growing in 7 areas: fitness, finance, family, field, faith, and fun. And if we look at those areas as a culture, fitness, 37% of us as Americans are clinically obese. Finance, 7 out of 10 of our families have less than $1,000 in an emergency fund. And debt is out of control, including student loans. So we're like one broken car, broken furnace from a stressful environment for our entire family. Speaking of family, 53% of our families end in divorce. Career, faith, or field, feel 55% of us drive to a job every day we hate. I mean, this is, and think about friends with the toxicity in relationships, and we're seeing it on the media about relationship with people. It's gone out of control. No one's having fun anymore, and faith has been removed from everything. So that's the world we're living in. We have to lay it out there and say, okay, if I don't pay attention in 2018, and if I follow that crowd, that's what I feel like statistically. And what we're telling you in this webinar is that doesn't need to be you. If you do the simple concepts we're going to talk about today, and you apply them, let everyone go that direction. Let everyone go into that. Let everyone have more. Let everyone have a relationship. But you know better now. Like, it's your responsibility. Okay, this is where I'm going. I've definitely had my challenges. I've definitely had my struggles, but I'm going to change it today.
This is the great thing. You know, at Oola, I have like front row seats because when you're speaking, I get to listen to you because I was speaking. And when you were going through, like, we're super optimistic guys. We'll say in Oola, collecting dreams across America. Donut shops, coffee shops, tea shops, everywhere, gas stations, like dreams. And we have this really optimistic view of the world because we meet some of the most incredible people. You look at the statistics that blew me away this year, especially under fitness. You said 5 million more people became obese in the last year since we had Oola, and it's like the debt's getting out of control. And if you look at statistics, the crowd is going that way. And in Oola, we say that you're designed by God to bring something better in you. There's something better in you than that. There's something better in you than driving to a job you can't stand, coming home to a spouse you can't stand.
Guys, I apologize for the quality on the video. Hold on one second. We'll see if we can get this fixed.
Not having purpose, having more stress, less balance, and no.
So I have another option. I'm not sure why it's so soft, and I have turned up the volume on my computer as much as I can. So I have another option because Dr. Dave did something similar in the Boost, which is something that I subscribe to. This is from the Oola guys, and it's actually much shorter. So let me see if I can get in there, if you'll hang in with me for just a second. So this is something you learn with your Young Living business. You learn to be flexible, and sometimes you have to fly by the seat of your pants. Let's see if this is gonna work. I'm going to go ahead and unmute y'all so we can actually chat with one another again. Okay, there we are. Gosh, thank you all for your patience. Let me see if we can get this working. And what I will do, because I have this link, I will post this link in the event so you can go out and watch this, the full 15-minute video from them. But let me see if I can get the 5-minute one from Dr. Dave. Okay. Okay. I think this is the one we want. And of course the computer is sluggy too. Yeah, this is the one I want. Okay. Let's see if we can get this going. Okay, I'm going to switch over and we're going to see if we can get Dr. Dave to talk to us at least. Okay, here he is.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Boost. I am Dr. Dave, the Oola Seeker, co-author of the international best-selling book series, Oola, Find Balance, Unbalanced World, that I co-authored with my buddy, Dr. Troy, and the latest book, Oola, Find Balance, Unbalanced World for Women, and Oola, Find Balance, Unbalanced World, the revised edition, which just came out a couple months ago, which we're super excited about. And guess what? Those books, that message, inspired Young Living to create 9 essential oils based on that to help support you and your journey to your Oola life. Oola life. I gotta start with that today. I know it's Christmas season, but I gotta start with that. I gotta start with tying your life into the principles, balancing your life, growing your life in 7 key areas: fitness, finance, family, field, your career, faith, friends, and fun. That's the heart of all the Oola books, and every Oola book to come, it starts with that. It starts with balancing and growing your life in the 7 key areas of life. And now this is what I love so much, is that this time of year, December, generally the first weekend in December, Dr. Troy and I, since 1997, would sit on the floor of the Hard Rock Hotel and we'd start to plan our life based on balancing and growing our life in these 7 areas. And what I want to talk about today and encourage you, I wish I could come to the camera and just shake you because I want you to do this so bad. Of all the lessons I've ever given you, it all starts right here. It starts with understanding the 3 simple steps to your Oola life. And I'm going to go through that with you today. And I'm going to encourage you before the ball drops on January 1st, you have your Oola life plan for 2018. And it starts today. Start watching this. It starts today moving forward. Oola Palooza. December 1st and 2nd, we sat down with a group of amazing people at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas, and we worked on goal setting, the 3 simple steps to your life, the cool stickers, colored, coordinate with bands, the whole process, including breaking through little blockers, bracing little accelerators, everything that they needed to go into 2018 strong. Then Dr. Troy and I, when everybody left, Dr. Troy and I sat back, and we did the same thing with our lives. What kind of dad do I want to be? What kind of like business guy do I want to be? What does my weight need to look like? My fitness for 2018? What are my fun goals for 2018? Relationship goals? What are my goals with my money? What am I going to do? Invest, save, give? What am I going to do with my finances? That sets up all your success for 2018. You will be at this exact same place in 2019, and you'll be like, I don't know, I didn't get a lot accomplished that year. If you don't set your goals now, have a plan going into 2019 or 2018, and then just go crush it every day. So let me break down the 3 simple steps to your life, because this is the heart of Oola. Dr. Troy's going to give you a bunch of information below on how to go ahead and go attack that. But let's start with step 1. Step 1 is called the Oola wheel. This is where you are right now. This moment. You can't go anywhere in 2018, anywhere, unless you know exactly where you are in the 7 F's of Oola. Fitness, finance, family, field, your career, faith, friends, and fun. It starts with knowing where you are. And then step 2 is the Oola plan. How are you going to get there? That's when you start making changes. But first, you got to go to step 1. So in step 1, where are you today in fitness? Where are you today in your finances, in your budgeting, in your income, in your debt, in your giving, in your saving? Where are you with your family, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your kids, your relationship with family members, toxic, non-toxic, functional, dysfunctional? Where are you? Where are you with your friends? You are going to hang out with? Are you surrounded by good people? Are you being a good friend and a mentor? Where are you with fun? Did you have fun like when you were 18 because you adulted into like you used to have fun? I say have a little fun every day, but have those big bucket list items too. But first, where are you? A great tool you can use is go on to oolalife.com/step1. It's STEP1. Step 1, and you can answer the questions and find out where you are on the Oola wheel. It'll show where you're weak, where you're growing, where maybe you got excess of something in your low area, but it'll show how balanced your life is. And that's the starting point for moving forward into step 2. Step 2, the Oola plan. My favorite area. I love the Oola plan because it's all about dreaming of what you want and why you want it, and then setting goals. What I'm going to encourage you to do, this is what I encourage people to do at Oola Palooza, is you're going to set 3 goals for each F of Oola. You're going to have 21 goals for each F of Oola. And you're going to look at that, and you're going to say, this is what I want for my finances. This is what I want for my fitness. This is what I want for my faith. This is what I want for my field, my family, my friends, my fun. This is what I want for these 7 areas. Now, we want you to accomplish all 21, but we're going to start with that. I'm going to start with giving you 21. Dr. Troy's going to talk about breaking it down step 1 and kind of moving it forward, but I'm going to give you the highlights of the 3 steps. And Dr. Troy's going to break all those down for you so you actually have actionable steps you can take. Step number 3, simple. This is the action steps you're going to take. It's how are you get there. You know where you are in step 1. You know where you want to go in step 2. Step 3 is how are you going to get this whole life. How are you going to accomplish these 21 goals? And it starts with a simple note card every single day that you write down 3 action steps you're going to take towards your life. On the left side of the note card, all the junk. Dental appointments, drop off dry cleaning, soccer games, phone calls, emails. On the right side of the card, 3 steps you're going to take every day towards your Oola life based on your 21 goals. And the crazy thing is, if you take 3 steps a day, for 365 days, that's over 1,000 steps towards your Oola life, 1,000 steps towards hitting your goals. So next year, when you watch a video in December of 2018, you didn't gain extra 5 pounds, go in debt an extra 2%, have your toxic relationships pull at you more, your business didn't grow, you weren't having fun, you still have a toxic relationship with your spouse, nothing's changed. Where you're going to be at this time in 2018, or 2019, is hopefully you've worked on your health, worked on your finances, worked on your business, accomplished some goals, and moved your life in the right direction. Instead of your life slowly going like this, it's going like this. It's moving in the right direction. Here's a simple thing I want to leave you with, and then I want you to get busy on what Dr. Troy's going to take care of with you. I want you to leave on step 1, think of the wheel. Step 2, think of the stickers, the color-coordinated stickers all over the bus. Those are your dreams, people's dreams and goals for what they want for their life. That's step 2. Step 3 is the note card. You know where you are at the wheel. Every day you look at your stickers or your goals, it's color coordinated goals of what you want for your life, and you think of the million people that were able to collect their dreams inside of all goals just like you and I. And step 3 is a note card. I want you to think of it every day when you pull out your note card the night before. Say, this is what I have to do tomorrow, and these are the 3 action steps I'm going to take towards my life. Feel free to 4 or 5 or 6 or maybe even 7, but a minimum of 3 steps every single day towards your life are growing your business, growing your family, growing your relationships, growing your fitness, growing your finances, getting rid of debt, taking care of everything in your life towards your life. All right, here we go. It's almost 2018. Everybody's going to be partying balls and around. You're doing hopefully the same thing you're going to be doing. Looking at my Oola life in front of me for 2018, I'm worthy, I deserve it, I'm designed, I got greatness and purpose. I'm going to live my life, I'm going to live my life. And I just pray that's what you are doing right now, moving forward and getting ready for next year. All right. Next time I see you on the boost, it'll be 2018. And you better have your goals written out, you better have your action steps in place, and you better know exactly where you want to go with life. But until next time, until 2018, be grateful, have faith, go boost your life, and go live your Oola life.
Okay, I hope that was a little better. So that's Dr. Dave. Oh my gosh, incredible energy on that guy. I think you need to be an East Coaster to keep up with him. He talks so fast. But have any of you actually picked up one of the Oola books or worked with the Oola books?
No.
Not yet?
No, no.
I'm seeing Stacy nodding her head yes, but a lot of no's. Okay, so here's the cool thing. As much as I highly recommend the book, especially Oola for Women, it is just chock full of really uplifting stories of women who have made decisions about their life and gone for their Oola life. You don't need to have the book to use these tools. So the place to start is the Oola Wheel. And that is available to you on their website. You heard him talk about /step 1, oolalife.com /step 1. Or
Stop it.
go to the Young Living website, get through to that partnerships area on the Oola pages, and the infused wheel is there. And what it does is it automatically helps you calculate where you are in each of those 7 F's of Oola. Because the idea behind Oola is that we all want to be living a balanced life, balanced and growing life. And they've really kind of identified the 7 areas that most of us think of as the foundation for a balanced life, whether it's fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. And what we find is when you do the Oola wheel, this is the time to be completely and totally honest with yourself. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. Answer the questions honestly. They ask you on a scale from 0 to 10, how's it going for you? There are 3 questions for each of the 7 F's of Oola. All you do is click on where you are. Are you an 8? Are you a 3 for that question? And you may find that, for fitness, the first question is how's your health? Your health may be an 8. Then it asks, how close are you to your ideal weight? And I know for me, I'm more like a 5 right now. And the third question is, how often do you exercise? And I'm like, oh, you're really going to make me answer that question. I have to be honest with myself because this is what I'm doing for myself. And then it combines your answers to those 3 questions and gives you a score. Then it's going to plot that score for you on the Oola wheel. Now think about a wheel. Each of these F's of Oola is like the spoke coming off that hub. And they're going to plot a point for you somewhere on each of those spokes, and it gets connected. And then you'll get an idea of whether your wheel is going to spin or not, or if it's going to go which is kind of how most of our lives are, right? Maybe you have a really strong, committed faith in your life. Maybe you're part of a faith community, and maybe that's all just big, bright, shiny 10s for you. So you have this one spoke that's super strong, but maybe you're feeling a little less than when it comes to your finances. Maybe Maybe you're like most Americans where you have less than $1,000 in emergency fund. So you may have a really strong spoke and one that's a little less than. And when you connect those dots, that's when you're going to get that ka-kong, ka-kong, ka-kong. So that's the first step, is finding out where you are. After you figure out where you are, it's really going to be clear to you which of the F's kind of gives you energy and you feel great around and you're doing awesome with, and which F is an area you may need to focus on some more. Once you do that, grab that little handout that I put them in our the main Facebook group, the Game Plan Facebook group, and they have simplified this so much even since last year, and I'm so excited for this. So this is a really, really simple one-page sheet for your goals, and you're going to write down 3 goals for each of the 7 F's of Oola. So you might have to take some time on this. I hope you will, and start with the big picture. Allow yourself to have those dreams of what you want your life to look like. What does health and wellness look like for you? Is it vibrant energy? Is it getting great sleep every night? Having the energy to run around with your kiddos? Maybe you have a fitness goal of running a 5K. Or, you know, I know in the Midwest in Quincy, there was this annual, I forget what it's called now, but it was a mud run. And it just looked like the most amazing thing. And my husband did it. And it was like military. It was intense. Some people didn't finish at all. And I thought, wow, I would really love to do that. But I never put it on a plan to make it happen. So this is a way for you to put your dreams and goals on paper. And this process will help you accomplish them. So you're going to write down 3 goals for each of the 7 F's of Oola. Now, have any of you ever written down goals before? How'd that go for you? So according to Oola guys, and in that other webinar, if you want to go back and watch it, you can, about 8% of people that come up with a New Year's resolution or write some goals actually achieve it. When it comes to using the Oola system, about 80% of people achieve their goals. Now, it could be that they're already highly motivated people, but just know that using these tools can be extremely powerful. When it comes to writing down goals, there's this approach that I personally think works really well, and that's SMART goals. Have any of you heard of having SMART goals? So that means creating a goal that is specific. So for instance, we're here talking as leaders in Young Living, people that are interested or already building a business in Young Living. So you may have a dream or a goal of getting to Senior Star or Executive Silver this year. Maybe it's Gold. Maybe you're ready to head to Diamond, Crown, and Royal Crown Diamond. I don't know necessarily what your specific goals are, but that is a specific goal to reach that rank. Okay. The next step is to make sure that it's measurable. So reaching the rank, that's a way of measuring it. But you want to have, oh, I'm sorry, time. We're going to talk about time in a second. So measurable, that's actually reaching the rank. Okay. Next step is accountability. It should be accountable. That's the A in SMART. So specific, measurable, accountable. And I'm going to tell you that this is something I found very powerful. Wendy and I have been in a group called Project Rank Up that's offered by my dear friend, Susan Martz. She's our immediate platinum upline. She's the lady who got me started. She's offering that on Monday evenings. And it's just a half an hour where we all get together and we have a chance to share what's going really well, what we want a little help with. But also in between, we have an accountability partner, somebody that we speak with every week. So I'm finding it really powerful. I thought at one point it'd be like having a boss and somebody telling me what to do. It's not. It's just somebody to listen to you and say, oh gosh, last week you said you were going to do this. How'd that go for you? Because if we're not held accountable for our goals, it's really easy to just let them fall to the wayside. Somehow we seem to let ourselves down first before we let anybody else down. So this is a chance to allow yourself to be held accountable. So I encourage you to find a friend It might be someone in your family. It might be someone completely outside of whatever that goal is. Allow them to hear what your dream is, what your goal is, what you're going for. Someone that you trust, someone that's not going to be a dream crusher and say, are you kidding me? Why are you even doing that? You don't want dream crushers here. That's not helpful. But someone who loves you, who will support you, and who will be there for you so that you can be there for yourself. So accountable. The next step is realistic, setting goals that are realistic and achievable. And I want to talk about that in a little more detail about your Young Living business in just a second. But the last letter, the T, is time. So establishing a date to complete your goal. So let's talk about this for a second, a goal with Young Living. A lot of people say, I want to be a diamond. I want to be a diamond. That's awesome. I want you all to be diamond. I'd be so thrilled to recognize all of you for reaching that rank of diamond. So we've got specific, right? I want to be a diamond. Measurable. It's measurable. Achieving that rank is measurable. Accountable. Okay, so you need to find somebody that's going to hold you accountable for that. Realistic. Let's talk about realistic. It depends on the time frame that you set for that goal, right? Of course, it's realistic for you to be a diamond, but let's talk about time frame on that and how you can get there. So I'm going to pull out a little sheet. This is also in the resources, the files in our Facebook group. And this little sheet will tell you, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it, but it shows the approximate volumes and people needed for legs and ring. Okay, so on this little chart, yay, right? So this comes from our upline Royal Crown Diamond, Vicki Opfer. Vicki Opfer was the second diamond in Young Living. So she's been around for over 2 decades in Young Living. She knows how it works. She gets it. She's also a numbers person, which I love. But she's gone in and based on the average order of the average Young Living member and the average percentage of people that order, in order to have 500 OGV volume needed for it to be a star, you need about 11 people in your organization. How cool is this to know? To be a senior star. So to be a senior star, you need 2,000 OGV plus your own 100 PV, right? But 2,000 OGV, that is about 43 people in an organization. To get to executive, that 4,000 OGV. Now remember, executives also need 1,000 PV legs. Okay, so that's when you need to have somebody working with you. But generally, an executive needs about 86 people in their organization with about 23 people in each of those 2 legs. So how helpful is this information to you? Is that helpful? I'm not going to go much deeper, but all of it is laid out for you here. And so if you have that information, you know that you're shooting for executive this year. You need about 23 people in each of your legs and about 86 people overall. Okay, 86 people. Where am I now? How many people do I have in my organization now? I may be starting from scratch. I may have to get to senior star, senior star, all that first, but I'm headed to executive. Okay. On average, how many people do I help get started every month? Or how many people do I help get started when I have a sharing event? You know, if you are like most of us, and this is a really good average, if you help about 3 people out of 10 people get started per event, think baseball, that's a good average in baseball, right, Leslie? 300? You're batting 300? That's awesome. It's like excellent. It's like considered the highest batting average. But so if you start thinking of it that way, about how many people you help get started each month, that's going to start giving you an idea of what might be a realistic time frame for reaching that goal. So again, I'll post this out there, but do consider that when you're creating your goals for your business. So any questions so far on this goal setting sheet? No? Okay. Okay. So yes, go for the big, hairy, audacious goals. Go for them. But but break it down for yourself so you know what's realistic. Of course, we have rock stars in Young Living. Of course, there are rock stars. There are people who reach diamond in whatever you hear, some crazy short amount of period of time. It's not going to be helpful to you to compare yourself to them. You are on your own journey. You know what the other commitments are in your life. So treat it like a business. Understand what it takes to get to each rank. Maybe your goal isn't a rank goal. Maybe it's a commission goal. So then look at the compensation handout from Young Living, the income statement that gives you an idea of what the average income is. And the other thing I'll say on that, also look at that realistically. Once you start getting up into the silver, gold, platinum dollar amounts, know that there are some people that reach the rank of silver and that's it. And they don't have any desire to go any further. And so their business will continue to grow. Their paycheck continues to grow. And so that is going to lift the average. Just hitting the rank of silver is not going to immediately ensure that you receive a paycheck that looks like the average silver. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the next step then, after you spend some time figuring out your 3 goals in each of the 7 F's of Oola, you're going to bring it down to 7. And this is also in the handout. This is the second page in the handout. You bring it down to 7, the 7 that are most important to you. It may be 3 from 2 areas of Oola, 2 of the F's, and 1 from another one. Or it might be 1 from each of the 7. You're going to pick the 7 that are most important to you. Okay? That will give you something to focus on throughout the year as you're planning your year. And then the last step is to go down to your Oola 1. Now your Oola 1, I want to read a little something to you on this, but this actually was kind of a huge aha for me last year, coming to an Oola 1. The Oola 1 is realizing that if you look at those 7 main goals that you have, there might be one that if you focused on achieving that goal, everything else is going to fall into place. So for me last year, I was dealing with some health challenges and had started putting on some weight. And it was affecting everything about me because I felt like I needed to bring a certain part of myself to the business. I wanted to look a certain way and feel a certain way when it came to my business. It was affecting fun. I wasn't able to get out and do things that I wanted to do, which affected my ability to socialize with friends. And I was taking a lot of energy from my family because I wasn't able to be there for them the way that I wanted to be. So maybe that'll give you some idea that by focusing on that fitness goal for myself, I was actually going to impact every other aspect of my life. Does that resonate with anybody else? So let me read a little bit to you. This is from the book for women. And it says, what's my Oola 1, thought Kate Notaro. What's the one thing that if I could change it would improve every area of my life? Reading the original Oola book and later meeting the Oola guys as they were collecting dreams on the Oola bus in Buffalo, New York, Kate knew the answer instantly: quit smoking. She'd been a smoker for over 20 years, but at that moment, she decided to quit for good, no excuses. And the first few months of being smoke-free, it dawned on her how much money her family was saving. She had more free time and felt 100% better. Soon, others began to take notice, and inspired by Kate's success, 2 friends decided to quit also. But when Kate's family started noticing the positive changes in her, that's when their Oola really took off. Kate's daughter set a goal and crushed it with a 4.2 GPA while taking honors classes and playing volleyball. And her 13-year-old son achieved the goal he put on the Oola bus of losing 30 pounds and made the soccer team over several more talented players. He even made the swim team, along with gaining a new sense of confidence. Inspired by the positive changes in their family, they decided to fly to Vegas and attend Oolapalooza. Kate and her husband, Tony, shared one of the most powerful experiences ever as they made joint plans for their lives and their marriage. They wrote some different goals, but returned home armed with a newfound motivation to participate in their first 5K run, get reconnected to a church family, cut sugar from the diet, and pay off $16,000 in credit card debt. Kate even recommitted to leaning into her relationship with Tony, overcoming fear and resentment that still lingered from an abusive marriage. So what could you accomplish by setting one bold and daring goal? I think, oh my gosh, how powerful is that? You know, it doesn't have to be necessarily this huge, I want to be diamond kind of goal. But by making that one change, that one decision to change something in her life, she impacted just about everybody in her life, her family, her friends, her relationship with her spouse. So that's what your Oola one is. Now here's where the Oola guys give you such a simple, but incredibly effective tool. And that's called the Oola path. So the first part is your Oola plan. And then the Oola path, it's really just a 3x5 card, all right? It's a 3x5 card. And what you do is you take that 3x5 card every night before you go to bed, put a line down the middle. On one side, put all the junk you have to do, all the junk, the errands, the taking the kids to the doctor, the grocery shopping and dropping off the dry clean. Put all of that stuff on one side. That's life. That's what we have to do. On the other side, write 3 action steps towards your Oola one. And here's where it can be challenging. Sometimes we think, okay, I'm going for diamond, so I have to do all of this massive stuff. And it gets so big that we forget that it's really about taking small steps every day. Today, it's about planning your classes for January, getting your classes on your calendar. Maybe that's your next action step. Your 3 action steps may not be all about your Oola one. You may need to, if you have a fitness goal, maybe today's the day that you go out and buy your new shoe so that you're ready for whatever exercise program you plan for yourself. So give yourself those small action steps that you can cross off. Boom, you're done. Do it the night before, so you're not thinking about it, and it's already there for you in the morning. If you have a planner and you want to do it in a planner, for goodness sake, of course, do it in a planner. But the cool thing about having it on a 3x5 card, you check it off, you throw it away at the end of the day. And you pull out a new card, you start fresh, take an action step every day. So that's what Dr. Dave was talking about the opportunity to take over 1,000 steps towards your Oola life. Now, there's more to Oola. There's some thoughts on those things that maybe are Oola blockers, things like fear, guilt, envy, laziness, self-sabotage, anger, focus. And I will share a little webinar that I went to last night that is a really powerful way. If you feel like you are having a challenge actually taking action towards your goals, you may be coming up against one of these Oola blockers. And you may not even really be able to identify it as, you may say to yourself, oh, I'm being lazy about this. But what's really behind that? It might be a fear. It might be a fear of failure. It might be a fear that that you're not good enough in some way. There's, we all carry around so much with us. Someone said something casually to us when we were a kid, and it just got ingrained. Or we watched other people around us behave a certain way towards us, and we have somehow bought into their reality of who we are, and it's just not who we are. So I'll share this webinar with you. It's a very, very simple technique called the Aroma Freedom Technique. Again, no special skills required. We use our oils in it. It uses frankincense, lavender, and stress away. All oils from the Premium Starter Kit. So you probably already have the oils in-house that you need. And you don't even have to know what is keeping you from your goal. You're just going to ask yourself some simple questions through this process. There's a facilitator in the webinar. It doesn't matter that you didn't attend it live. You just do the work as you're watching the webinar. And I have found it extremely, extremely powerful. Just a really profound modality for helping us get to some of those core issues that might be holding us back from reaching our goals. So if, as you're doing this process, you feel like you have something really strong that you want to accomplish, but you just On a scale from 1 to 10, you're like 0. This is absolutely not going to happen. There's no way I can do this. I know, I can tell you mentally that this is probably the most important thing I should do. But when I look at that goal, I say I have 0 chance of accomplishing that. If you have goals like that come up for you, I encourage you to watch this other video on AFT and Oola. It was just done last night, and I'll put the link for it. It's all free. Just grab your oils. You don't even need pencil and paper for it. Just show up and work yourself through it. And I think you'll find a very powerful help. So those are my thoughts for you on helping you get started with an amazing 2018. Anyone that wants to do a coaching with me, I'm available to you. I'm more than happy to set aside time to help you get specific on your goals, if that's of value to you. I find this a very personal, introspective thing, so you do need to make the time for yourself to do this. You may have to wait till everybody's in bed and set aside a half an hour just for yourself. But I want to thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I'd like to open this up. If anybody has any questions, we have a few more minutes.
Trisha?
Yes.
What are the names of the books that have been mentioned this evening? Because I didn't get them wrote down.
Okay. I love Oola, Find Balance in an Unbalanced World. This happens to be Oola for women, which it's just got so much heart, and it has incredibly powerful stories in here. You may recognize some of the women's names from, being on Young Living websites. There are a lot of stories from Young Living leaders in here, but these are real women leading their lives and sharing their powerful stories of how goal setting has helped them, how making a simple change has made an incredible difference in their life. So I love this book. The other one that I mentioned, and by the way, they also had the original, they've updated it, but this is my signed copy, so I'm going to be holding on to this one. But they've updated the original Oola book, so that's available as well if you're not necessarily interested in the individual stories from the women. And then I also mentioned the Aroma Freedom Technique. Again, there's a quick start guide to this that's just a couple of dollars. But again, you don't need the book unless you really want it. So those are the books that I mentioned tonight. And in the event, I'm going to go ahead and I'll post the links. I'm going to post the link to the longer version of the webinar with Dr. Dave and Dr. Troy. And I will also post the link to the AFT clearing session from last night. We shared all the tools already. So I think you have a real opportunity to help set yourself up for a great 2018. And I encourage you, like I said at the beginning, life happens, right? So you may be all set for this to happen today and life goes that way. So I encourage you to be resilient, find your sense of humor, because life needs to be fun, man. We were all designed for greatness. I love to hear that from the Oola guys because I know it's true. You are here. You have special gifts to share with the world. And by taking some time to plan, you will achieve your goals and your dreams. So there are a couple really cool things coming up. There's a new Project Rank Up with Susan Martz starting on Monday, the 8th. If you would like to be a part of that, I would be honored to have you join us. I'll make sure that you get included in the group, and then you can work with an accountability partner. We will also be, many of you know that I've been working with a group of Crossline buddies that I met through a mastermind with Young Living. And we're going to start working our way through this amazing book called Essential Sharing from Vicki and Chris Opfer. This is the original heart-centered sharing for those of you that have been around for a little while. And this is the way that I started sharing Young Living. It speaks to my heart. If you have worked with Game Plan and love it, please enjoy continuing working with that. This will coordinate beautifully with that if you'd like to join us for it. If you started working with Game Plan and just had your mind blown, you're going to love Essential Sharing. It's really simple, it's duplicatable, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So we'll be posting a date soon about when we're starting. It's going to be early in February. So if you're ready to start kicking it with your Young Living business, you can pick up that book now. You can also join the They did some videos. You can join that group because this is offered just for our team from Vicki and Chris. So if that's of interest to you, I can make sure that you're in there as well. Be sure to get yourself to a rally on the 13th. I'll be doing one online. We'll be sharing all the latest and amazing stuff from Young Living. They usually have some fun offer for everybody as part of that. So that'll be next Saturday, the 13th. If you can get to a live one near you, please go. It'll be a blast. I promise you'll have a blast. So everybody, I thank you all for joining me tonight. I wish you an amazing 2018. I'm here to help you, work with you, and help those dreams come true. Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing night.
Thank you.
Love seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.